he started getting into a vibe where his cats would start to, flip some stuff around. But I was like, we can go harder. Because it was a pop R&B thing.
Yeah.
And I liked it, but I was like, nah, we could go street.
In this video, we'll explore the remarkable journey of Fred Hammond, a true icon in contemporary gospel music. Known for his soulful voice and groundbreaking fusion of gospel with R&B, jazz and hip-hop, Hammond has inspired millions with his uplifting lyrics and unwavering faith. With a career spanning over 4 decades, he has not only revolutionized gospel music, but also built a powerful ministry that encourages spiritual growth and resilience. Join us as we dive into the life, music, and legacy of Fred Hammond, a man whose sound continues to touch hearts and transform lives. The journey of Fred Hammond. From humble beginnings to gospel music icon early life in Detroit, the foundation of a musical legacy. Fred Hammond, born on December 27, 1960, in Detroit, Michigan, entered a world shaped by the rich cultural and musical history of his hometown. Known for being the birthplace of Motown and a hub of jazz, R&B, and gospel music, Detroit was the perfect environment for the growth of a musical talent like Hammond. Raised in a city that reverberated with the sounds of iconic legends such as Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, and the Supremes, Fred was immersed in music from an early age. The rhythm of the city, the heartbeat of the gospel churches, and the soul-stirring gospel hymns that filled the air formed the very backdrop of his upbringing. Hammond's early exposure to church music played a pivotal role in shaping his career. His parents, devout Christians, encouraged him to attend church, where he began to experience the spiritual power of gospel music. Church, for Hammond, became more than just a place of worship. It was a sanctuary for self-discovery and growth. It was here that he first encountered the dynamic role of music in worship. He became involved in the church choir, a setting that allowed him to develop both his vocal and instrumental skills. As he took on the bass guitar, an instrument that would later become synonymous with his sound, Hammond began to understand the importance of music as a form of ministry. The bass guitar, with its deep, resonant tones, taught Hammond the power of rhythm and the emotional pull of music that lies just beneath the surface. In the sacred space of the church, Hammond honed his abilities to harmonize with others, learning to listen and adapt to the flow of worship, crafting melodies that spoke directly to the soul. The bass guitar, Fred Hammond's first love. Fred Hammond's first love was the bass guitar. Unlike other instruments, which could command the spotlight with soaring melodies or intricate solos, the bass guitar held a more understated yet crucial role in the musical landscape. The bass was often the heartbeat of a song, a constant pulsating presence that tied together the harmony and rhythm sections. Hammond's ability to craft smooth, soulful grooves on the bass guitar became a trademark of his style. He learned the nuances of the instrument through hours of practice, developing a command of rhythm that would later allow him to innovate in the gospel genre. In his early years, Hammond's bass playing was deeply influenced by the sounds of Motown and the complex rhythms of jazz, both genres that had been central to Detroit's musical legacy. He drew inspiration from bassists like James Jamison of the Funk Brothers, whose intricate lines had powered the timeless Motown sound. At the same time, Hammond's gospel roots provided him with a solid foundation in harmony and rhythm. His unique style was born from the fusion of these influences, creating a sound that was at once soulful and deeply spiritual. Harmonizing faith and music, the church choir. Alongside his bass guitar skills, Fred Hammond's vocal talents began to blossom in the church choir. The choir provided him with the opportunity to experiment with vocal harmonies, pitch control, and emotional expression through his voice. Singing in the choir wasn't just about perfecting musical technique, it was also about understanding the role of music in worship and ministry. The choir offered Hammond a glimpse into the collective nature of gospel music, where individual voices blend together to form something greater than the sum of their parts. This early exposure to group singing taught him the importance of teamwork, humility, and the power of collective faith. Hammond's vocal journey was a slow and steady progression. The church served as a training ground where he was encouraged to push the boundaries of his vocal range. With guidance from seasoned choir directors and fellow singers, he learned the art of using his voice not just as an instrument, but as a vessel for spiritual expression. His voice, soulful and full of emotion, became an extension of his deep faith. As he sang in the choir, he wasn't merely performing, he was participating in a sacred act of worship, and that experience infused his music with sincerity and depth. Commissioned, a group that redefined gospel music. Fred Hammond's rise to prominence in the gospel music world took a significant step forward when he joined Commissioned, a gospel ensemble that would go on to redefine the genre during the 1980s and 1990s. Formed in Detroit, Commissioned was at the forefront of a wave of contemporary gospel music that sought to bridge the gap between traditional church music and the emerging sounds of R&B, jazz, and funk. At a time when gospel music was primarily characterized by its traditional hymnal style, Commissioned's innovative fusion of urban musical influences brought a fresh perspective to the genre. The group's sound resonated with a younger generation of gospel listeners who were drawn to the more modern rhythms and production techniques. Commissioned was able to maintain the deeply spiritual essence of gospel while incorporating the grooves and melodies of contemporary R&B and jazz. As a result, their music appealed not only to traditional gospel fans, but also to those who appreciated more mainstream urban music. Hammond's contribution to the group was immeasurable. Not only did he lend his skills as a bassist and vocalist, but he also played a key role in shaping the group's sound as a songwriter and arranger. Innovating gospel music, Fred Hammond's role in Commissioned within Commissioned, Fred Hammond's talent as a creative force became clear. He was not just a performer, he was a driving force behind the group's musical direction. His bass lines helped define the group's signature sound, while his vocal contributions added an emotional depth that resonated with listeners. As a songwriter, Hammond's lyrical approach was characterized by an honesty and vulnerability that set Commissioned apart from other gospel groups of the era. Songs like Running Back to You and Ordinary Just Won't Do explored themes of redemption, personal struggle, and the human need for grace. Hammond's ability to write lyrics that were both deeply personal and universally relatable helped create an emotional connection between the group and its listeners. His songs were not just about faith, they were about the real-life struggles that many people face, and they offered a message of hope, resilience, and divine grace. This approach to songwriting helped to establish Hammond as a voice of authenticity in gospel music. The legacy of Commissioned's impact on gospel music cannot be overstated. The group's fusion of contemporary R&B and gospel was groundbreaking, and its success opened the door for other artists to explore similar fusions of gospel and popular music. Commissioned's influence reached far beyond the gospel music community, helping to shape the sound of modern Christian music. For Fred Hammond, his time with Commissioned not only helped him develop his skills as a musician, but also provided him with a platform to reach a wider audience. The experience in Commissioned was a springboard for his future solo career, allowing him to expand his reach and solidify his place in gospel music history. Solo career, the birth of a gospel legend. After leaving Commissioned in the mid-1990s, Fred Hammond embarked on a solo career that would establish him as one of the most influential figures in gospel music. Building on the foundation he had laid with Commissioned, Hammond continued to push the boundaries of gospel music, blending contemporary urban sounds with the spiritual depth that had always defined his work. His solo albums, including Pages of Life, Chapters 1 and 2, 1998, Purpose by Design, 2000, and Love Unstoppable, 2009, became landmarks in gospel music, each showcasing his evolving sound and message. Pages of Life, Chapters 1 and 2, a milestone album, Fred Hammond's 1998 release. Pages of Life, Chapters 1 and 2 was a game-changing moment in his solo career. This double album not only showcased his ability to blend studio recordings with live performances, but also captured the raw energy and passion of his live worship sessions. The album was a bold statement, blending polished studio production with the emotional immediacy of live worship, creating a unique listening experience that resonated deeply with fans. The success of Pages of Life cemented Hammond's reputation as a leading figure in gospel music. Songs like Let the Praise Begin and We're Blessed became gospel anthems, reflecting themes of gratitude, divine protection, and praise in the face of adversity. The live recordings allowed listeners to feel as though they were part of the worship experience, and the communal energy of the album became a hallmark of Hammond's music. This album also garnered Hammond widespread acclaim, solidifying his place as a true innovator in the gospel genre. Purpose by Design and Love. Unstoppable. The evolution of Fred Hammond's sound. Hammond's subsequent albums, Purpose by Design, 2000, and Love Unstoppable, 2009, further refined his approach to blending contemporary sounds with spiritual messages. Purpose by Design focused on themes of self-discovery and divine purpose, encouraging listeners to seek God's guidance in their lives. Tracks like Give Me a Clean Heart and When You Praise highlighted Hammond's ability to capture the ongoing journey of faith, full of personal challenges and divine support. In Love Unstoppable, Hammond continued to innovate, incorporating a mix of contemporary sounds and traditional gospel elements. The album's themes of God's boundless love and the strength it provides during difficult times resonated deeply with listeners, making it one of Hammond's most beloved releases. Songs like They That Wait, featuring John P. Key, emphasized the power of patience and trust in God's timing, while Best Thing That Ever Happened reflected Hammond's personal journey of gratitude and praise. Recognition and awards. A gospel music legend. Throughout his career, Fred Hammond has been recognized for his groundbreaking contributions to gospel music. He has received numerous accolades, including multiple Stellar Awards and Dove Awards, in recognition of his excellence as both a performer and a songwriter. He has also been inducted into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame and is considered by many to be one of the most influential gospel artists of his generation. His influence extends beyond music, as Hammond has used his platform to inspire and encourage people through his personal testimony and spiritual journey. He is known for his willingness to speak openly about his struggles with mental health, his faith, and his personal growth, making him a relatable figure for many. A continuing legacy, Fred Hammond today. As Fred Hammond continues to release music and tour, his influence remains ever present in the world of gospel music. He has inspired countless artists, both within the genre and beyond, with his innovative sound, powerful lyrics, and unwavering faith. His commitment to creating music that connects people to their spiritual roots while also embracing contemporary elements has solidified his place as one of the greatest gospel artists of all time. Fred Hammond's story is not just one of musical success. It is a story of a man who has used his God-given talents to inspire, uplift, and lead others in faith. From his humble beginnings in Detroit to his status as a gospel icon, Hammond's journey continues to resonate with fans across the world. His legacy is one of faith, perseverance, and musical innovation, an enduring testament to the power of gospel music to touch hearts and transform lives. Fred Hammond, a legacy of faith, struggle, and musical innovation. Fred Hammond, one of the most influential figures in contemporary gospel music, is not only a celebrated artist, but also a testament to the power of faith, resilience, and artistic expression. His journey through both personal and professional challenges has shaped his music, making it a source of inspiration and comfort for millions worldwide. From his early beginnings in Detroit to his pioneering efforts in the music industry, Hammond's impact on gospel music is both profound and enduring. The birth of Face-to-Face Productions, a vision for independence. Fred Hammond's entrepreneurial spirit led to the creation of Face-to-Face Productions, a platform through which he could produce music on his own terms, free from the constraints typically associated with major record labels. This pivotal decision was not just about gaining control over his artistic endeavours. It was a bold step towards merging his deep spiritual beliefs with his music in a way that had not been done before. By founding his own production company, Hammond set himself up to bring his personal and artistic vision to life, prioritising both creative freedom and spiritual authenticity. Hammond had already achieved considerable success as a member of the renowned gospel group Commissioned, but with Face-to-Face Productions, he was able to fully explore his artistic independence. He wanted to craft music that reflected his life, his struggles, and his faith journey. In this era of self-reliance, Hammond found the space to experiment with different musical genres, incorporating elements of R&B, jazz, and hip-hop into traditional gospel music. This blend of sounds helped redefine gospel music, making it accessible to a wider, more diverse audience. His ability to infuse contemporary styles with the powerful messages of worship and devotion allowed him to bridge the gap between traditional gospel and modern music, creating something entirely unique. The formation of Radical for Christ, a collective of worship and unity. In tandem with his establishment of Face-to-Face Productions, Fred Hammond founded the gospel group Radical for Christ. The group was created to emphasize the power of collective worship and to provide a platform for talented musicians and vocalists who shared his vision of worship that was not only authentic, but also relevant to the challenges of contemporary life. Radical for Christ became known for its passionate, high-energy performances that resonated deeply with audiences. Their music was powerful, focusing on themes of praise, gratitude, and reliance on God. The group's anthems spoke to the hearts of believers who were seeking a deeper connection with God and a more meaningful worship experience. The emphasis on live instrumentation within Radical for Christ added an organic, dynamic quality to their music, making their worship services feel like a collective spiritual experience. Hammond's leadership of both Face-to-Face Productions and Radical for Christ allowed him to further develop a style of gospel that was inclusive and innovative. His musical approach was built on the foundation of traditional gospel sounds, but it also pushed boundaries by embracing genres that were often excluded from gospel music at the time. Hammond's commitment to inclusivity in gospel music extended beyond musical styles. It was a vision of unity within the body of Christ, where people from diverse backgrounds could come together and experience worship in an authentic and relevant way. Songs that define Fred Hammond's legacy. Fred Hammond's music is not just about melodies and rhythms. His songs convey deep spiritual truths and powerful messages of faith, hope, and resilience. Some of his most iconic tracks, such as No Weapon, We're Blessed, and Let the Praise Begin, have become staples in churches worldwide. These songs resonate with listeners on both a personal and collective level, offering words of encouragement, praise, and unwavering trust in God's ability to overcome any obstacle. No Weapon, a declaration of faith and protection. Perhaps one of Fred Hammond's most famous songs, No Weapon, is a bold declaration of faith that continues to inspire and comfort believers in times of difficulty. Drawing inspiration from Isaiah 54:17, which proclaims that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, this song is an anthem of God's protection and faithfulness. The powerful lyrics and dynamic arrangement provide a sense of peace and reassurance to anyone facing challenges, reminding them that God's presence is a shield against adversity. In the face of personal and societal struggles, no weapon offers believers the strength to persevere. The song has become a symbol of resilience, providing comfort and hope in difficult times. It is a reminder that no matter how formidable the challenges may seem, God's promises are unshakable and His protection is guaranteed. The impact of no weapon goes beyond its musical composition. It's a declaration of divine security and a call to trust in God's ability to shield His people from harm. We're blessed, a celebration of God's provision. We're Blessed, another one of Hammond's celebrated songs, is a joyous proclamation of God's provision and favour. The song's chorus, "We're blessed in the city, we're blessed in the field," echoes the blessings outlined in Deuteronomy 28:3-6, which speaks of God's blessings in every aspect of life. From the smallest to the most significant, Hammond's lyrics celebrate God's constant presence and provision. The infectious joy in the song captures the essence of gratitude, recognizing that every moment, big or small, is a gift from God. The uplifting melody and encouraging lyrics inspire listeners to celebrate God's blessings, no matter their circumstances. We're Blessed has become more than just a song. It's an anthem for those who understand the importance of recognizing God's hand in their daily lives. It serves as a reminder to rejoice, even in times of difficulty, because God's blessings are ever present. Let the praise begin. A call to collective worship. The song "Let the Praise Begin" is an invitation to worship, encouraging listeners to enter into a space of praise and surrender. As the title suggests, the song is a call to action, a prompt for believers to start a moment of collective worship. Its upbeat tempo, engaging lyrics, and infectious energy make it a perfect opening song for worship services, setting the tone for a time of praise and reflection. The song invites congregants to put aside their worries and focus entirely on honouring God, creating an atmosphere of unity and devotion. In churches across the world, "Let the Praise Begin" is used to create a moment of communal worship, as its lively rhythm and powerful lyrics set the stage for a transformative spiritual experience. It is a reminder that praise is not just an individual act, but a collective experience that brings believers together in one heart and spirit. Through this song, Hammond has created an anthem for worship that encourages every listener to enter into God's presence with joy and gratitude. Overcoming personal struggles, divorce, pain, and healing. Fred Hammond's musical journey has not been without its struggles, and one of the most significant personal challenges he faced was his divorce from his wife Kim in 2004. The dissolution of his marriage was a deeply painful experience, both personally and publicly. As a highly respected gospel artist known for his commitment to family and faith, the divorce was a life-altering event that caused Hammond to confront complex emotions, including grief, loss, and vulnerability. The public nature of his divorce added another layer of difficulty, as Hammond had to navigate the scrutiny of the media and the gospel community. However, rather than allowing his personal pain to hinder his career, Hammond chose to channel his emotions into his music. He became more open about his struggles, allowing his music to reflect themes of healing, redemption, and divine love. This honesty resonated deeply with his audience, many of whom were facing similar struggles in their own lives. In the years following his divorce, Hammond's music took on a more vulnerable and introspective tone. Songs that followed reflected a deeper understanding of God's grace and healing power, even in the midst of personal loss. Hammond's willingness to be transparent about his pain allowed his music to become a source of healing for others, offering them comfort and assurance that God's love is steadfast, even in times of brokenness. Physical struggles, battling health issues. Fred Hammond's struggles were not only emotional, he also faced significant physical challenges that threatened his ability to perform. Over the years, Hammond's health issues, particularly with his knees, began to impact his stage presence. Known for his energetic performances and commanding presence, Hammond's physical limitations became a source of concern, both for him and his fans. Despite undergoing multiple surgeries to address his knee problems, the recovery process was slow and often painful. However, rather than letting his physical struggles define him, Hammond's determination to continue performing and creating music became a symbol of resilience. His fans witnessed his perseverance, not just in his music, but in his ability to overcome personal and physical obstacles. Hammond's commitment to his craft, despite the pain and discomfort, inspired many who saw in him a role model of faith, strength, and trust in God's plan. Through his health struggles, Hammond's faith remained unwavering. He continued to perform, choosing to see his physical limitations as an opportunity to glorify God. His music, infused with personal trials and triumphs, served as a testament to God's ability to bring strength in times of weakness. A lasting legacy of faith and music. Fred Hammond's contributions to gospel music have reshaped the genre, blending contemporary sounds with the traditional messages of faith and hope. His journey of overcoming personal and physical challenges has inspired countless individuals to find strength in their own trials. Through his music, Hammond has created a lasting legacy that continues to impact believers worldwide. His ability to blend artistic innovation with deep spiritual truths has made him a cherished figure in the gospel community, and his influence continues to inspire new generations of worship leaders, musicians, and believers. Fred Hammond's story is one of perseverance, faith, and the unyielding belief that, through God, all things are possible. His music transcends cultural, geographical, and denominational boundaries, creating a universal message of hope, love, and redemption. As his legacy continues to grow, Fred Hammond remains a beacon of inspiration for all who encounter his music and his testimony of God's enduring love